Well, hello again everyone. It's time for an update on June. Well, I bet you thought I'd forgotten about the June update, didn't you? It's well into July now. I think it's the 9th today, so we are a little bit late with this. Well, being as it is early July, we are now allowed back out in the motorhomes, but ours is still in pieces. I'm still working on the shower, so we haven't actually been able to get out yet. And the weather has really turned. It's absolutely hammering it down out there. I thought I'd put the old jacket away for the summer, but I had to get it out again to avoid getting a soaking to come out here. So June's been a pretty busy month as far as the motorhome goes. We've obviously done the refurbishment and respray of the bonnet with the airbrush picture of the cow on, and I'm pretty pleased with that. That was a good exercise. I could definitely make it a lot better if I try something like that again with what I've learned, but it's not too bad, and I think it was well worth doing. We're also still midway through refurbishing the washroom. That's turned out to be quite involved, and there are still some obstacles to cross on that. I didn't really make any detailed plans about how I was going to do it before I started, and we have run up against a few snags. So that'll be coming up soon. I also need to check the MOT status online, because when I checked a couple of days ago, the MOT date still hadn't moved forward. I think they do it about 7 days in advance, and the MOT was due on this on the 15th of July. I'm not aware of any issues with it. I've given it a bit of a check over in preparation for it perhaps beginning to be used again. But it would be good to know that that MOT has been extended. As far as going away in the van goes, we are hoping to get away as soon as we possibly can. Obviously we can go camping in England, and I think fairly soon, probably the 11th of July by the sound of it, we'll be able to go camping in Wales, and I do fancy a trip to Wales. Obviously my last little break, although it wasn't in the motorhome, was to Wales, and that was very good, and it would be quite tempting to head back there, but I think we may end up fairly closer to home. We obviously had our trip to Scotland booked before all this kicked off, and we should have spent the first 2 weeks of May up in Scotland, but obviously that had to all be cancelled. And I've still got some deposits that various different campsites are holding, and the Camping and Caravanning Club had a sort of account system where your deposit goes into an account and you can draw on it to use for other sites. But the problem we've got now is that Nikki's business obviously had to close down during the lockdown. She's just restarted her work, and she's wary of taking an extended period off because obviously she wants to build up her funds again. So it's going to be tricky to go on a longer break, so it may be limited to weekends and perhaps long weekends. Because the budget is tight, we'll probably be looking at staying on CLs or CSs, and we might try the Britstop system as well. I bought the book at the NEC show, and we haven't actually used it yet, so it'd be interesting to try that. Now, as for the Ttxela, that's been sitting unused for most of the lockdown. I have tried to use it occasionally, but obviously left it a little bit too long because the battery has gone completely flat, and that's killed the battery. I've used it a couple of times with the dead battery. I have to jump start it. Obviously the battery's not totally dead. To jump start it, and then I still have to jump start it when I get to the to my destination when I want to return. So that needs sorting pretty quick, because we can't really carry on like that for very long. So I need to order a new battery for that. That has had its MOT extended as well. And again, I'm not aware of any issues on that either, although that will have a good check over before I start to use it regularly again as well. It's got a slow puncher too, so we need to get that fixed. I have been using the electric motorbike throughout to go in and out of work, and that's performing well since the warranty repairs on the battery. So touch wood, that's going really well, and still very pleased with that. That's saving me quite a lot of money on my daily commute, because I still am going in most days to the office, albeit not full days. As far as the airbrushing goes, we obviously did the design on the bonnet. We haven't done a great deal else. We've been busy with other projects, but I have started that signboard thing, which I think might be quite useful when we're out and about. I can put it either on the inside of the windscreen of the motorhome, or perhaps outside somewhere where we're camping. I don't know. It's maybe it won't bring in many little airbrushing jobs, but maybe it will bring in a few. We'll just have to see on that. As far as the underground stuff goes, I haven't been underground yet since the lockdown started. The advice up until very recently has still been to be very cautious about that, even when it was officially sort of permitted. The coronavirus does seem to thrive in that sort of cold, wet, enclosed spaces, which is pretty accurate description for a mine. So we will venture underground very soon, I think, providing things continue to improve. So maybe watch out for something on that too. And as far as the weight loss goes, I have almost forgotten about that, to be honest, throughout most of the latter part of June, and I very rarely checked the Fitbit app, and as a result we have slipped a little bit. I haven't really added much to the View Ranger walk 1,000 miles thing either, which is a little bit disappointing. I just got too distracted really with the bonnet and the shower and that sort of thing. So really do need to try and be a bit better on that. I know I've been saying that most months really, but I will finish up by showing you just the weight loss chart, and you'll see there is a slight rise where I think I've just relaxed a little bit, maybe not been quite as keen on the walks and the activity and keeping the steps up as I have been, and probably a few little snacks have crept in as well. So that's something that does need a little bit of attention. So I'll just finish by showing you the weight loss chart. Well, that's all for now. If you enjoyed it, press like. Subscribe if you want to see some more. And ring the bell to be notified when we upload something new.